welcome back to the show. It's Michelle here. I hope you are well. Now, do you remember when I introduced you to the magical powers of a thank you page? I'm asking you for two very important reasons. One, because thank you pages are wonderful and you should totally be utilizing them in all of your marketing funnels. Reason number two, because today we're going to talk about the step in the funnel right before the thank you page, which is the opt in. Because the thing is, to get your lead to reach that thank you page, you first got to offer them something pretty great. I mean, after all, no one just hands over their email address these days, and not without a good reason anyway, right? This brings me to one of the most underrated tools in an online business owner's arsenal, and that is the lead magnet. Now, you may have heard of them referred to as an opt-in incentive or a content upgrade, but I prefer the term lead magnet. A strong lead magnet is what persuades your new lead to hand over their email address, which in turn gives you the opportunity to nurture them and eventually make a pitch. Sounds pretty important, right? So without further ado, let's dive into the 5 types of lead magnets. Now, with full disclosure, there are way more than 5 types of lead magnets. So with that being said, these are the most 5 common ones that all of you, including myself, have probably signed up for at one point or another. The first one is an ebook. Now, we've all downloaded one of these and possibly left it sitting on our desktop for months. But fret not. It is possible to create an ebook that gets downloaded and actually gets read. The trick is to keep it short and super specific. Most people go overboard and pack it with all this content, which they think is a benefit, but it actually overwhelms the reader. Pick a tiny problem that you know is bugging your audience and show them how to solve it, like super quick. And yes, it's that easy. The second type of lead magnet is a quiz. Now, quizzes are super popular right now, and for good reason. They are the ultimate way to connect and interact with your audience without lifting a finger. Now, after that initial creation and setup, that is, of course, because we all know that's going to take some time. But I'm sure that you have taken one of those silly BuzzFeed quizzes before, right? Like I have. My daughter has me take them all the time. Now, quiz lead magnets are like that, but a million times better. Most involve a short quiz, I'm talking like 6 to 12 questions that lead to an opt-in page. After opting in, the reader is taken to an in-depth results page and also added to a nurture sequence that is specific to their quiz results. Now, if you're cringing at the amount of writing that is required, you are not wrong. However, quizzes are still an extremely valuable tool in your marketing funnel. So if you fancy yourself as a writer, I would recommend giving that a shot or possibly hiring it out, right? Okay, the third one is a mini course. These are a favorite because they can be very effective at turning leads into clients. All you have to do is take a small part of a subject that you teach and turn it into an email sequence. At the end of the mini course, you pitch your course or program as an alternative to doing it themselves. When presented with all the steps broken down in front of them, many people will opt to hire you to do it rather than to do it for themselves, right? Even better, this email sequence functions as both your lead magnet and your nurture sequence, making it even more appealing to business owners. Now, the fourth one is a webinar. The mighty webinar is a successful lead magnet due to part of its urgent nature. By restricting the availability of your webinar, you're able to ignite your lead's fear of missing out, right? That whole FOMO. Between the countdown timer and the limited amount of seats and promises of fast action bonuses, a webinar is a digital marketer's dream. Additionally, unlike all of the other lead magnet types and the lists, a webinar allows you to interact with your audience in real time. And the best part, you get to earn your trust just by being yourself. as well as directly addressing questions and concerns that you may not otherwise be aware of. This is one of the ways that you can definitely earn that know, like, and trust factor in 30 to 90 minutes, right? The last one is a checklist. Checklists are definitely a favorite among lead magnets because of their ability to solve one specific problem quickly in a super consumable way. Plus, who doesn't like checking things off? Like, I make myself lists every day and I love checking off. It feels so good to know that you've accomplished something. And the good news for you is that checklists are super easy to create, especially if you use them as a content upgrade at the end of a blog post or a podcast, maybe even a live video. Now, here's an example of a checklist lead magnet that you can use in your own business. Say you're a business coach writing a blog post about onboarding a new virtual assistant. At the end of the blog post, you would simply include an offer for a checklist that covers all of the steps that you wrote about. Your readers get an actionable freebie that they can save time and use anytime, right? And you grow your list. So it's a win-win. Checklists are amazing, as well as they save time on knowing what the steps are in the process. They might think that they might be missing out on a step, but with your checklist, you can make sure that they have a thorough process of what they're supposed to be doing. So now you have the five top lead magnet ideas. You might be asking yourself, like, how the heck do I create a good lead magnet? Like a lead magnet somebody wants to actually get and give me their email for. Well, there are a lot of factors that affect the success of your lead magnet, like location of opt-in forms, quality, follow-up, etc. But there are a few things that you need to consider before jumping into the design and copywriting. So I'm going to share with you 3 questions to answer when you're brainstorming and creating your lead magnet. Now, before you spend loads of time working on it. So if you already have a lead magnet in place and you're like, oh, I thought this was a really good idea, but no one wants it, right? No one's opting in for it. Then come back to this and kind of ask yourself these questions so you can either create a whole brand new one or tweak the one that you have. So here are your questions. The first one is, does my audience care? Like, this one may seem obvious, but you'd be surprised by how many people get caught up in picking the topic and completely forget about the most important quality, and that's your audience actually cares. People are very protective of their email addresses these days. So offering something you know they want is an easy way to set yourself up for success. And you're not sure, like you might be saying, well, I'm not really sure what my ideal clients would like. Well, how about you just ask them, right? Pop in a Facebook group where you know where your perfect person hangs out, or send them a quick email or a DM, right? To either your current or your past clients, and just ask them. People love to give their opinion, so I doubt that most people will say no. The second question to ask yourself is there value in it? Just because you're not charging for your lead magnet doesn't mean that it shouldn't be valuable. Remember, you're trying to make a good impression here. A valuable lead magnet paired with a welcome sequence and a welcome email sequence can do wonders at turning your lookers into paying clients. And the last question is, does it solve a problem and or give my audience something they need? Your lead magnet should solve one problem, and that is your ideal clients are having, or provide that quick win. For example, if you have an online course, you could take out one small section and turn it into a mini course. Consider the lead magnets are the entry point into your business ecosystem, right? They are all about the prospect and how you can make their life easier, how you can solve a problem they've been struggling with for some time, and getting them that quick win. Quick win is if they take this action from your lead magnet, they get an immediate result. right? And if you can solve this one little problem for them, they will be so grateful that they're going to want to continue on the journey with you, saying, like, how can they solve my even bigger problem, right? So here you go. Now that you have what a lead magnet is, what the common types are, and how to make a good one, it's time to get to work. And I would love it if you were to drop me a DM or tag me in IG stories or on social with what type of lead magnet did you decide to do? I would love to know, so please do that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Cheers to creating an incredible, valuable lead magnet and growing your email list. And if you haven't already subscribed to the show, please do that. And while you're there, leave me an honest review. I would so much appreciate it. Until next time, happy marketing.